Welcome to TMZ Live and welcome back.
Thank you.
So there is a mystery going on in Washington, D.C. and in Kentucky, and the two are directly connected. It's not just where is Mitch McConnell, but there are people asking, is Mitch McConnell, the senator from Kentucky, still alive?
Right, because nobody has seen him since he went into the hospital for an undisclosed emergency, and there are people now saying they've spoken to him, but interestingly, there is zero, how do I say, proof of life.
There is zero proof of life. That's how you say it.
And
well, no, that's actually not true. There is a senator who says that, or at least his representatives say he had a conversation with Mitch McConnell yesterday.
Where's the proof? They're just people who are saying they've spoken to him, yet there's nothing to prove that what condition he's in, which has, some people would call this conspiracy theory, and some people would say maybe it's just a fact. Because Lisa Rinna, of all people, the Real Housewife, former Real Housewife, has now decided that she has an opinion about what's going on with Mitch McConnell,
which
she wanted to share.
Which I think is shared by others.
It absolutely is. She just put it in Lisa's way.
I mean, come on. Mitch McConnell's dead.
He's dead. They're keeping him alive like Weekend at Bernie's.
So,
but the music, the piano concerto,
it was a nice touch. But look, there are people. Look, here's what's going on. The Senate right now is held by the Republicans, but barely, and every vote counts. And Mitch McConnell is a Republican, and there are a lot of people. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene came out yesterday and railed and said Mitch McConnell is not present at the best, and that. To keep somebody in office just to hold a majority, even if they're not participating, is disgusting and hypocritical.
Remember that Mitch McConnell has already said that this is it. He's done in the Senate.
This really is
his last term.
Much ado about nothing.
He's going to be replaced with whoever
There's an
Kentucky
election.
elects.
Oh, let me tell you why
There's
it's
an
about
election
something.
in November.
There may be a Supreme Court retirement. I am convinced that Nina Totenberg from NPR knew what she was talking about when she wrote a story that accidentally got published about Samuel Alito, the justice, that he had retired. I don't know whether he's going to or not, but Nina Totenberg knows all these justices. And if he does retire, there's going to be a vote, and that vote matters.
But
and
what happens if Mitch McConnell were to either resign or, heaven forbid, die? What is the next step?
There would be a special election held probably in September that would then
that person is then only in office until
January 2nd or 3rd, whenever the Senate reconvenes. And so it would be a 3-month period. Now, I guess there could be a judicial appointment during that time. You still have Republicans holding the Senate by, right now they're 53 to 47. It would become 52 to 47.
And you know, there are defections. And so there could...
We haven't seen it, but it could theoretically
It matters. And look, this underscores, I think what a lot of people are talking about right now is there are people in Congress who are just too damn old. And, you know, we saw Mitch McConnell seize
Not only Congress. That's it. Not only Congress.
Okay.
I didn't mean you.
I'm talking about
the other.
Why'd you look at me?
I'm talking about the other branches of government.
Looked at me.
I meant the other branches of government.
Well, no, it's true. It's true in government. It's true in media. It's true all over the place.
I was not talking about you.
I thought you were talking about. No, you weren't. I thought when
you thought I was talking about him.
1,000%.
No,
Charles,
I was talking about
you. Look
Charles.
at me.
And I looked at you too.
Charles.
I meant the executive office.
You may not intend to do it, but now that we're here and having the discussion.
But here's the thing. We have no idea. And you have a congressman who went MIA for 4 months, not knowing where he was. His district wasn't represented by him. They had to pay taxes, but they had no representation for 4 months. And he finally comes back and he said, well, I had depression problems. And he told us after the fact. And so people are pissed off that members of Congress are not...
And that their own parties are not holding their feet to the fire.
And this happened with Biden. I mean, the same thing
Yeah,
happened
no,
with
definitely
Biden.
happened with Biden.
And a lot of people lied for
executive
Biden.
branch.
The stakes,
Yeah.
the stakes
See?
were higher, but
That's what I was talking
No, you
about.
weren't.
The executive branch.
Anyway, we don't know where Mitch McConnell is, and apparently he's still in the hospital. This other senator whose rep said that he talked to him for 20 minutes. When he was drilled, the rep said, "Well, my boss actually did most of the talking, and McConnell."
well, that
McConnell's
is proof
listening.
of life. If you accept it as truth,
If
that
you
he's
accept it-
alive. Can't have,
There are like 3
yeah.
people I've seen
How
now
alive?
say that
But
they had
how
conversations.
alive?
If they said they talked to him for 20 minutes and there was a conversation, which is what they said, that means 2 people are part of it. Unless it was just like talking to. Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Newman Parker, and I'm based out of Austin, Texas. And I just have to say, if there's anyone to comment on living, it's definitely Lisa Rinna. I mean, not only does that woman know how to live, but boy, has she lived a million lives herself. I just question the motivation behind pulling a Weekend at Bernie's stunt with Mitch McConnell, considering he's no longer the Senate Majority Leader, as you've stated. And he's also already stated himself he's not going to be seeking re-election in the 2027 Senate election. So it's not like the Republicans would necessarily be losing a seat in the Senate, considering Kentucky is relatively conservative.
No. But you know what? You know who they're talking about right now, and he hasn't said whether he's going to do it or not. They're talking about Thomas Massey, and Thomas Massey,
Who is Republican, but
even
is
though
not
he
not
is
Trump's favorite.
He's anti-Trump,
Right.
And so it's just like getting a Democrat if that happens.
Surprise, the golden ticket to Travis and Taylor's wedding was not a golden ticket to everyone. There was a very famous person who decided, I'm good.
Not for
Thanks.
me.
Charles Barkley revealed why he did not go to the wedding. He got an invitation, could have been there, but he has some strict rules when it comes to these sorts of events.
So you didn't get the invite to the royal wedding at Madison Square Garden then?
I did.
Oh, you did get the invite. You didn't go?
I don't go to weddings. That's one of I don't go to weddings or funerals, but I did get an invite, and I politely declined because I thought it was going to be a crap show. And I love Travis and Jason, and I've only met Taylor one time. But yeah, I did get an invite, but I said, hey, you know what? That's just too much. I just want to hang out and play golf, and I don't want to dress up and all that other stuff. But I appreciate the invitation. It was pretty special.
But there's
That
something.
was a very kind.
No, he was great. But there's something he didn't say that I always thought. When you get a lot of people who are famous in a room,
Right.
and you have a conversation, it's like I'm talking to you, but I'm looking over
They're
at
always
somebody
looking
who's
and
maybe
see
bigger
who's the
that
other
I might
person.
want to talk
Right,
to. So
right.
I'm half talking to you.
Right. I mean, I would like to talk to Steve right now rather than talk to you.
I understand that.
But here we are.
But Charles Barkley also has the ability to look over anybody to.
But Charles Barkley is also used to being in rooms of famous people and still decided it's not what he wanted to do.
And quite frankly, I don't think Charles Barkley cares about fame and things like that. The
I
only time
agree.
we ever see
Right.
him hanging out with other celebrities is at like pro-ams, for, like golf
court,
tournaments.
yeah.
That's
and
what
things
he
like
means
that.
when he says it was going to be a crap show. That it was going to be That's what he was saying. It's going to be so many famous people in this room and so much small talk you got to do.
Don't you admire him for this?
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
so admire
Yes.
him.
If ever there was a time that Charles Barkley was a role model, this is. I know he likes to say, I'm not a role model, but Charles, come on.
Our chat is agreeing. They're saying, good on him. If you're don't want to go to something, get all dressed up, be in that stuffy room, don't go.
But it's not even
But-
that it's a stuffy room. It's just,
I will
it's
say
a lot.
It's easier to
lot.
say no when there's 1,000 people. You're like, no, they're not going to care if I'm not there.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 20 people.
It's 20 people.
then
You can't be like, all right, I'm not going to go.
Yeah, but this is, come on, it's,
Right.
it's a show.
But
It's
how
a
many
show.
people get invited to weddings with 1,000 people?
It's an
How many times are there weddings with 1,000 people?
It's an easy out, which most people don't take because they just want to do it.
I will mention, though, there were a lot of TV people there, Fox, CBS, things
Right.
like that. It seems like Travis is 100% going down that route after.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Josh Moore from Fort Lauderdale. Honestly, I kind of feel like if your friend really invites you to something that's that big, their wedding, their big day, you just have to go. There's a little bit of an obligation to be there. I mean, I get it. Charles Barkley, he's old. He's kind of like my grandpa. My grandpa likes to be left alone.
It's not.
No.
That's just my personal
But hold on,
opinion.
but you used a very important word there. You said if your friend invites you. That's the question: is how close of friends were
Well,
they?
He said he's only met
Taylor once. He said, "I've met Travis, and I like Travis, but I also get the feeling that they're probably not like they're not buds. They're friendly."
This wedding was partly business.
Yes, a lot about business. It has to be with that many people.
Coming up, when Spencer Pratt was running, there were a lot of people who said, Spencer's MAGA. And, some people liked that, some people didn't like that.
He actively shunned it.
He actively shunned it.
Well, now that he's not actually on a ballot, guess where Spencer Pratt popped up?
Be right back.
Spencer Pratt is not done with politics. Didn't think that he was after he lost the primary here in the mayoral race in L.A.
So we should say, though, that when Spencer Pratt was running, there were a lot of people who said, Spencer's MAGA. And, some people liked that, some people didn't like that.
He actively shunned it.
He actively shunned it. And I remember this when we had done a post, and he was upset, and he said, you cannot...
Right, because President Trump had said something about, I think I like
and
Spencer.
We said that Spencer was effectively being supported by Trump.
Right.
And Spencer challenged that. And so he did not want to say that he was pro-Trump, anti-Trump, neutral, anything. He was just silent.
Well, now that he's not actually on a ballot, guess where Spencer Pratt popped up? The Oval Office for a meeting with President Trump. He posted this photo. And he said, I will never stop fighting for my community. So.
Which community?
Well, I think he means where he lives, Palisades, Pacific Palisades, and L.A. in general.
So the question is, what was he doing? I got to tell you, this city is a mess. I was talking to people whose houses burned down or were damaged, and they're still having such trouble, and we're a year and a half in now.
So if he is now aligning himself more closely, if he is, with Trump, I think there's another, aside from that visit at the White House and that him posting that, on the 4th of July, he posted a long rant, a very well-produced rant, I will say. It was about 4 minutes long, at least, where he used all these images that you're seeing here and then ranted about the communists.
Did anybody tell him about licensing?
Yeah, I know. He ranted about the communists. He said the communists are trying to take over. His shirt said the anti-socialist social club, and he specifically called out Mamdani. So he's sounding certainly. First, he sounded more in line with MAGA.
It's very Trumpy.
But what is but what do you think? What office is he setting himself up for?
Right, because it can't be for L.A. mayor.
No, it can't be.
That's gone.
Right,
and
especially now cozying up to Trump.
Well,
we already knew
there are
this.
plenty of people who lose an election and then run again.
But now that he's cozying up to Trump, there's no ambiguity about that anymore, right? I mean, we knew that he was a Trump guy. He supported Trump. But now, he's sitting in the Oval Office. That comes back and bites him in 2020. 2030
not if he's going to run for Congress.
Right. Yeah, it depends on what he's going to do. He could run for Congress. There could be a Republican district.
Yeah.
He could absolutely, and that wouldn't shock me at all.
Even if it was Congress.
But come on, this whole thing about, look, I got a big issue with these Democrat socialists.
Yeah.
I do. I just personally do. They're not communists. Come on. They're not. It's very McCarthy-esque.
The women who run in New York City abolished to fund, police entirely.
No, I get it. I'm not down with it.
Yeah.
And there are other things.
But it's not communism.
But not communism.
It's not communism. Come on.
Hi, this is Robert from West Hollywood, California. I just think that Spencer and Donald are a match made in hell. And just to address something that you both brought up, I never believed Spencer when he said he wasn't MAGA or he wasn't far-right Republican. I think he was just making that up to get Democratic voters in Los Angeles City. So that's one. Two, I also think that Spencer probably sees himself in Donald Trump. Remember, they're both born with silver spoons in their mouth. They're both kind of like these villains from reality TV. They're both unfit to serve for office. So again, I think this was like a meeting of common minds. It's also possible.
Can I tell you something? What I'm picking up here?
Yeah.
If he runs again, it doesn't sound like you're going to vote for him.
No, that's a really good guess. You hit the nail on the head.
Wow, you are so observant today. You are on it, man.
I'm on it.
Sharp. Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO said that they were amicably splitting up. There is now some video evidence that we obtained
BS.
that shows that's BS. because there is a very aggressive moving on by Bunnie XO. Moving on with a much younger, I wouldn't say much younger.
Well, he's 24 years old.
But younger than she is. Quite a bit.
Here's the thing. And making out at a bar, but it ain't any bar.
Right. This is the aggressive part. The bar where she's making out with this young man belongs to her estranged husband, Jelly Roll. It's his bar in Nashville.
And she's
where
in that
she
bar with this 24-year-old dude making out with him, knowing that there are security cameras there.
Defending her a little bit, I mean, his name is on the bar, but I don't know if she might have some ownership in the bar. It could be partially her bar.
Well, that could be being debated right now by lawyers.
No, totally. But
that's
I think
actually an interesting point.
But I think
this was her stake. This is my
staking her claim.
This is my territory.
This is like carving her name in the booth
or pissing on the
or that.
The one thing I think, like, if you're Jelly Roll, obviously he hasn't spoken out about this, and she said on her podcast that he's already dating. So it's like, you're split up. You can do what you want. But can you not do it in my bar with a 24-year-old in front of an entire bar?
But here's the difference. He's the one who left her.
He filed the divorce papers.
He filed the divorce papers. So I think that the person who gets filed on has a pass to do whatever he or she wants to do because the other person left. You left me
in his bar,
and I want to make out in front of you. Sorry, you're the one that left.
I just feel like you could take this 24-year-old back to your home. You don't need to do it on the rooftop on 4th of July in front of a packed bar.
Maybe not, but he left her.
But they were together for 10 years. Have a little bit of respect.
Respect? He's the one that left her. He filed for divorce. Why should she now spare his what?
No, it's not about sparing him, right? Because she's gonna date people and she's gonna make out with people in public, but not at his bar. And if it's their bar, then maybe that's the point.
No, but you know what? If you had a girlfriend and you broke up with her and then she goes to a place that she knows you go to and she's making out with a guy, you have absolutely no right to say anything.
That's fair, but I would feel a certain kind of way about it.
Well, that's your problem. You're the one that
because
you're
here's
the
the thing.
Yeah,
Everybody else in that bar is thinking exactly what we did. Like, wow, in Jelly Roll's bar?
Chat says it's a public place. It's a public place. We don't know why we left her. It's a public bar. Who cares?
They've been on file, publicly said that they're friends.
Do you know how many public bars there are in Nashville?
Exactly.
That
So
Dylan
who cares?
Wolf would love to go check out?
Who's Dylan
She
Wolf?
knows the people that work
is on
there.
a Netflix show.
The Calabasas.
Calabasas Confidential.
Right.
I haven't seen it, but apparently it's a new show on Netflix. He's 24 years old. Some rich kid.
rich kids in Calabasas.
Dylan knows how to get publicity.
No, for sure. For sure.
It's working.
Hey guys, it's Coco Louie coming to you live from Washington, D.C. Chiming in on this whole Bunnie XO and Jelly Roll situation. Sometimes you got to do things for the plot, okay? It's summertime and, she's clearly not letting anything stop her newfound, soon-to-be single life as a divorcee. So, listen, I'm here for it.
I'm totally cool.
She can do what she wants. Just, where you do it makes a difference.
Stuff that jelly in your roll.
Oh, wow.
Coming up. Mackenzie Shirilla's life in prison doesn't seem very prison-y. There's a recent photo that was posted where she's not in a prison jumpsuit. So what is happening at the prison as to why she can do all this is a question that Dominic Russo's family is also wondering.
Be right back. TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Donnell Rawlings took TMZ DC on a city tour.
You know what the irony of this is? A black man takes a white person to the White House.
It's TMZ.
Mackenzie Shirilla's life in prison doesn't seem very prison-y.
We should
say.
We should remind you, she is the woman who is profiled in The Crash, the Netflix series, where she drove 100 miles an hour into a wall, killing her boyfriend and one of their good friends.
Right, and
she
is now
convicted of murder.
Convicted of murder and is in prison, but she is also posting. She's pretty active on social media, and there's a more recent photo that was posted where she's not just. She's not in a prison jumpsuit. She seems to have some makeup on, have her hair done. What's the reason for the glam looks and the interactions with her supporters on social media. What are the rules in this prison? And we're trying to get...
But also, this is, you should know, it's on brand. I mean, this is how she lived her life on TikTok.
Exactly, and it's, some would say part of the reason why she was convicted is her infatuation with showing herself on social media. So what is happening at the prison as to why she can do all this is a question that Dominic Russo's family is also wondering. Dominic Russo is her boyfriend who was killed in that crash, and his older sister Christine is joining us right now because she has a lot of questions. Christine, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. So, Christine, is it surprising you that the prison is allowing her these privileges? What is it that's bugging you? Is it the prison? Is it Mackenzie, or both?
I've been talking to some law enforcement for a little bit over a month now about her going on lives, and in the lives, allegedly they're threatening the family, threatening myself, my kids. I don't understand how this has gone on for so long, and she continues to have access to tablets and electronics, and that these sites itself haven't been shut down. I don't understand why. I've reported the Instagrams, the Facebooks, all the sites and things like that, the TikToks, and these social media platforms are also allowing her to have these pages. I don't understand that.
You know what's really interesting about this is that Mackenzie did not argue that she was innocent, that she should be found not guilty, period. I think their point was, yes, she committed a crime. Their point was the crime was vehicular manslaughter, not murder. But she's not saying that she wasn't to blame. So it's weird that her fans are converting that into she's been framed and that you are the bad guys. It's just bizarre.
It's like cult-like almost. It's inhumane. What we're going through as a family and the Flanagans and things like that, and to see these internet trolls, it's like they're inhumane. I wouldn't even call them people. It's like a cult of, online freaks almost, that it's like, I don't know what kind of people, decent human beings, would stick up for her and support and be a fan of hers. You know what I'm saying? She's a stone cold murderer. Murdered 2 boys.
Aside from her supporters, Christine, just the photo itself, that sort of glammed up look, as glam certainly for prison, that she's posting images like that. I've got to imagine that takes you back to what was happening in the months after Dominic's death, after he was killed, that she was, once she recovered from her injuries, back on social media, posting her usual glam shots with friends and by herself. And in the documentary and in the trial, they said that, where's the remorse? And I guess in the documentary, she tried to say, look, I do have remorse for what happened, but then you see this, and I've got to imagine it doesn't add up for you.
I remember when the trial first began, or when she had first been arrested, there was one of the first times she was on camera. The news was in it was like the county jail. And I remember her looking into the camera, and she was just fixing her hair and her makeup as she's sitting in, an orange jumpsuit. And right then it was my mind just went, I was like, this girl's a complete psychopath. She's a complete narcissistic sociopath. She's a psychopath. That she's so obsessed with herself and her image. And I really think that that's part of the reason. I think that's why part of the reason what she did to my brother, I think that has a lot to do with it, was her image, and he was leaving her. And that she couldn't deal with the fact that her reputation was going to be tarnished, that she was going to be dumped. And I think that had a lot to do with what she did to him. And it disgusts me.
So for you, there might be a glass half full way of looking at this, that when she comes up for parole, one of the big things the parole board is going to consider is contrition, whether she's remorseful. And these videos could blow up any argument she has that she felt any of that, and that it would be a basis to deny her parole. So in a way, she's kind of digging her own grave figuratively by doing this. I mean, do you look at it at all that way?
Yeah, I look at it every way I can. I try to see, honestly, since this Netflix documentary came out, like, we are not doing well at all. The family, myself, we are not doing well coping with it and things. And, like, that is one thing where I'm like, oh, okay, she is digging herself further and further. And to me, it's like, it's sad. It's like, you know, she shows no remorse, no accountability, neither does her family, you know, and then she's making a mockery out of what happened. She's making it's like a big giant show. And yeah, I save everything. I have all screenshots, all video clips. And when it comes time, you know, I don't see her getting out. I really don't. Not if, obviously we're going to be there, but I don't see her getting out for a very, very long time, if not ever. I think she's going to be in there forever.
Yeah, she's not helping her cause, but certainly helping the cause, inadvertently helping the cause, which is what your family wants us to see her behind bars and to remain there. So, Christine, thank you so much for being with us. And our thoughts are with your family. I hear what you're saying, that since this documentary, I'm sure this has reopened old wounds for you. So, wishing you all the best.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Coming up.
A social media influencer, specifically a looks maxer, a guy named Connor Murphy, died very tragically. And what we know at this point is that he was in a taxi cab. He was acting very bizarrely. He got dropped off. When the police showed up, Connor jumps into a lake.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. A social media influencer, specifically a looks maxer, a term we've heard a lot this year. One of those individuals, a guy named Connor Murphy, died very tragically and bizarrely in Thailand on Tuesday. And still piecing together the details of what led up to him doing the things that have been reported. But what we know at this point is that he was in a taxi cab. He was acting very bizarrely. He got dropped off, tried to get into another car, and was erratic enough that someone observed all this, called police. When the police showed up, Connor jumps into a lake near where he'd been living. He'd been renting a house over there.
And he drowned.
And while swimming, he drowned.
It's obviously too early to know exactly what happened. It feels like he was under the influence of something, that he attracted the attention of a cab driver, then another cab driver, then a citizen, then the police. So it feels like there's something that caused him. Now, he has talked about using ayahuasca, famously talked about it online, and how great it is. Now, we have no idea if this was ayahuasca
at this point,
or anything else, but he was acting off the rails, at least according to the witnesses.
Yeah, and he even had been fairly active on his YouTube channel just days before this went down, and a lot of the videos were pretty disturbing. There was a video of him where he was just saying stuff that wasn't even really coherent, but he titled it "Obituary Pending." So it's almost like he predicted something was going to happen.
And at the end of that video, he says something strange again.
He's talking about Elon Musk.
About Elon Musk, and he says something about, he says, you guys, I don't know who the you guys are, but you guys have a strange relationship with death.
Yeah.
And then the caption said the thing about
obituary pending.
So,
which is really bizarre. And none of that aligns, though, with what happened here, because this wasn't like intentional, where he was going into the ocean or a lake or whatever else.
It was just a situation where he's like, oh, I'm going to go jump in because the cops are chasing me.
I'm trying to get away from the cops. But again, it just, everything feels like, you know.
Well, it sounds like he was going through some sort of mental break, because also they said when they went to the house that he had been renting, that there was paint on the walls.
Everywhere,
and
was
his
in
girlfriend
disarray.
said that, he did that. He got up in the middle of the night and couldn't sleep, so then he just
trashed the place.
There's
also
something going
there's
on.
some reports, local Thai reports too, that said, you know, when he was found in the lake right before he drowned, he was like swimming to exhaustion. Like he was just so exhausted, just swimming almost like, just without stopping at all. And then that's what caused him to drown.
Well, again, he's very fit, obviously, and he had the capacity to swim. There's something that was altering his senses.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kamara from Atlanta. And first of all, I just want to say condolences to the family and then also to the fans. But it goes to show you, just because you have success on social media doesn't always mean that your mental health is okay. So I just definitely think the takeaway here is, if we see something just like Britney Spears and we see something is off with our favorite entertainers, as fans, we do have a duty to do sort of a welfare check.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? But you know what's interesting about what you said, which is that, a lot of entertainers kind of live between the lines. A lot of people on social media, and when you get into looks,
how can you tell?
How do you know? Exactly.
How do you know when it's performance?
That's
how do you know
right.
when they're actually going through something?
That's right.
And in this case, he did a lot of performing where he would say bizarre things then say.
We watched videos where he just seemed off the rails.
Right.
But that was his norm.
Yeah. President Trump's shiny new toy is getting sidelined, at least temporarily. The new Air Force One, the jet that was delivered by the Qatari government, he used it to go over to this NATO summit where he is today in Turkey, but he is not leaving on it. And a lot of people have questions.
I'd like you to address speculation that you're leaving Ankara not in the new Air Force One because of security concerns involving Iran.
The life of a president is very dangerous. It's 5.2%. You know what a race car driver is? 1/10 of 1%. A bull rider, that looks pretty dangerous to me. It's 1/10 of 1%. No, it's 5.2% is you don't make it.
Why aren't you flying the new plane home?
Say what?
Why aren't you flying on the new Air Force One home?
It's flying to Europe, to one of the big bases, 2 or 3 of the big bases, where we can show it to the people. And we'll be going home by normal methods.
So he's deflecting on whether it's a security reason, because what he seems to be saying at face value is, we're going to show off the new plane, at various bases, and I'll take the old plane home.
Look, he's obviously deflecting here. There are other reports that he said things like, I want to take the old one for old time's sake, but he complained so much about the old Air Force One, said it was outmoded and so forth. He loves being on this new Qatari version. So he's deflecting from their security concerns. Maybe it's the escalating conflict in Iran.
What's
because
also
the peace
adding
deal.
to this is the fact that they're going to the same place. The base where the new Air Force One is going is the same exact base where he is going on the old Air Force One. So why wouldn't you take the new one if it's going to the same base?
He doesn't want to be on the fancy one and come out in the dog and pony show. This is ridiculous.
More importantly, Secret Service
you want to
doesn't
come out
want
of the
him on
rust
it.
bucket? The best you can explain is that new one was going to stay at that base, so people from the military might be able to come out and look.
Stay there.
And he needs to go home.
Yes, or someone from his security team says, you may not take this jet. There are security concerns.
Hold on. You just said something that's incorrect. He is going to the same base in the UK.
I know that.
Right. So
But,
why
but
wouldn't
you
you
didn't
fly
hear
on the
what
new
I said.
one? I know. I get it that he's going to eventually go back to the United States.
But maybe he wants to immediately go back, and that they were going to display the new one for a longer period of time than he wanted to wait. That's the most generous you can give.
But he's going to Britain with the old plane, so why would he want to get out of the rust bucket and not out of the brand new shiny Qatari one?
What I don't understand is there a difference between the Qatari Air Force One and the OG Air Force One?
A massive difference, right? I mean, this is the new, updated version.
No,
That's why he said the old one is outmoded.
Comfort-wise, definitely inside.
He said it's the
totally
classiest commercial jet ever made.
But then why would it be more of a security concern than the old one?
That's the big question.
Coming up.
There is a very confusing review out there of Armie Hammer's new movie, Citizen Vigilante. And that confusing review reportedly comes from Armie himself.
How could this be that he would go through
That Armie
an
would go through the whole
script,
thing and then
film
be
it,
shocked.
And be shocked.
Be right back.
There is a very confusing review out there of Armie Hammer's new movie, Citizen Vigilante. And that confusing review reportedly comes from Armie himself.
Well, I would argue it's not so much a review as Armie's feelings about what happened in this movie.
Right. There is a report that says, so the movie has been released online, and someone was talking to an outlet about the movie, not Armie himself, but they told this outlet that Armie was really upset when he saw the final product and that this movie wasn't what he thought it was going to be and that it's has an anti-Muslim theme to it.
With
that
white
he was,
supremacists
right,
involved.
and that that's not what he was on board with.
And that when he watched it, he cried.
Right.
So it's like, we're thinking, in our morning meeting today, it's like, wait a minute. He was the star of the movie.
Right.
How could he not know the central theme if he starred in the entire movie?
Because he would have the whole script. It's not like he had a bit part.
When Puck News wrote this and cited a source, we're just thinking, how could this be that he would go through
that Armie would go through the whole
script,
and then be shocked.
And be shocked.
I mean, that would be, I know that they can do a lot of things in editing, but to completely change the plot of the script that he had read would be bizarre.
Well,
Very
we looked
bizarre.
into it a little bit more, and it turns out it's just 2 letters, BS. We talked to the director, Yui Boll, and he said, look, not only was Armie amazing in this film, but he's been promoting it, and he's been excited about it, and he's on the record about this being the vehicle that's going to be his comeback. The director tells us he feels that it's an attack on him because the film is controversial, but it has nothing to do with Armie being unhappy with his work.
And they're saying he was not surprised at what.
No.
How could that be?
Because also, why would he be promoting the movie
Correct.
if he
if he hated it?
If he hated it,
he's out there promoting the movie.
Be trying to
it's
distance
a
himself
vehicle for his huge comeback. Why would he then turn around and undercut all of that?
It does not make any sense.
Unless it's BS.
Right. Unless it's
and
BS.
And the director thinks that it wasn't even an attack against Armie as much as it was him. Why would they attack
It's
the director?
someone out there who clearly doesn't like
it is a controversial film. The director is a German director, and it's banned right now in Germany for its anti-immigrant themes. He feels that that's one of the reasons why people are coming for him. They're using Armie as a way to say, this poor guy, he wanted to make a comeback, and look at this. He got duped into doing this film that people are going to hate because of its themes.
But his point, the director's point is, no, he saw the script, he knew what we were doing.
Armie is on record saying
he's all in.
This is it, and I'm proud to be a part of this.
Hi, I'm Miriam from Los Angeles, and my question is, why are we supposed to feel bad for an actor who has been accused of rape and abuse by multiple women, who then came back to the acting scene with a movie?
Yeah, but hold your roll in that. Armie Hammer was investigated. I get it, but he was investigated for 2 years, and the case was not only dropped, but they let it sit knowing they were going to drop it for a year because they were afraid of the blowback in the DA's office. So he was cleared of that. They investigated the allegations, and he was cleared.
I understand that, but my thing is, if you were canceled for something that serious, you should probably spend the rest of your career making sure that you are not doing something so heinous as spewing anti-immigration hate and anti-Muslim propaganda. I mean, this is probably the worst redemption arc I've ever seen.
Coming up. Something very bizarre that's sort of fallout from Travis and Taylor's wedding. Her good friend, Jack Antonoff, and producer, was at the wedding, but was not with his wife, Margaret Qualley. And that made a lot of people think that, is there trouble in paradise?
Be right back.
Something very bizarre that's sort of fallout from Travis and Taylor's wedding. Her good friend, Jack Antonoff, and producer, was at the wedding, but was not with his wife, Margaret Qualley. And that made a lot of people think that, is there trouble in paradise? There are also reports that she could have just been filming a movie at the time and couldn't make it, but the plot thought it was weird.
The plot thickens because all of a sudden, she scrubs her social media of pictures of him and her.
Jack mostly disappears from her social media. And
well, that's a sign, right?
That's definitely a sign.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's a hard launch when you put it up, what is it when you take it down?
That's what I'm saying. It's the generation that loves the hard launch, we also love the hard unlaunch. And when you archive
you gotta come
these
up with
pictures,
a better name for it
I know, I'm working on it. When you archive these pictures, I immediately assume something's going on that you don't want to be seen with this person.
Right. So then a report came out this morning in People that said they have split. And then really strangely, now if you go to Margaret's social media, she has unarchived, as you say,
They're
some
back.
of those photos.
Some of the photos, not all of the photos.
Some of them. Also, Jack was in New York today and still wearing his wedding ring.
So but
he's also got a nice Knicks t-shirt on.
LGK.
It's somewhat unclear, I gotta say. The fact that she put him back up does make you feel like they're not split.
It makes me feel like they are even more split, where it's like, oh crap, I got busted.
Makes me feel like
well, no, she knows what she did.
Yeah, no, it makes me feel like they're going through something and they haven't, no one's, talking about, no one's divorcing yet. They may be talking about it, but no one's doing it yet, and now they feel like their cover's kind of blown.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Theron O'Ginnaby from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I personally think Jack Antonoff and Margaret Qualley, I thought they would have been in game because of the whole Lana Del Rey song and the production of that song, Margaret, on Ocean Boulevard. But her putting those pictures up and him wearing that wedding ring just tells me that they're trying to save face because the PR and the public is already in their business.
Yeah, but it makes it more thunderous if now all of a sudden somebody files for divorce after
because now
it looks like they're back. It's almost like
just stay quiet. Whatever it is you're going to do.
Ride the wave.
Right.
That's right. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm from Philadelphia, and I think the Taylor wedding, I think Charles Barkley genuinely didn't think anything of it. He adores Taylor and Travis as a couple, so him wanting to decline kindly to the invitation of the wedding, I think was probably a bold move and a smart one, because with that amount of people, especially knowing that they're all your colleagues and peers, it's probably a lot.
Yeah, as he put it, a crap show.
He didn't want to say crap show, but
there was another word he wanted.
Best he could do.
Yes.
One more.
Hi there, Dane Drebin from Gig Harbor, Washington. I want to know more about Air Force One. What's going on with this plane? Because Trump was so proud that he had this big luxurious present, and now he's not using it. Something's going on.
Something's
here.
going. Something's up.
Something is definitely up. However, he did fly it over there, so something changed.
The toilet's clogged.
Coming up. Mariah Carey was at Disneyland, but not for a performance, just being mom. Just a normie.
No. Headline. She's in line.
Yeah, just a normie waiting in a line.
Be right back.
Did you hear Disneyland had their billionth visitor? And guess what?
I did not know that.
It was not Mariah Carey, but she was there at Disneyland on that momentous day. Their 1 billionth visitor.
Wow.
I believe it was yesterday or maybe the day before. But Mariah Carey was also at Disneyland.
Do you know Elon Musk has twice as much money as the number of people who were at Disneyland?
3 times.
Since 1956.
Okay, anyway.
It's pretty amazing.
Oh, yes. Mariah Carey was at Disneyland, but not for a performance, just being mom. Just a normie.
No. Headline. She's in line.
Yeah, just a normie waiting in a line. Yes, she had to wait in line. And she eventually did get on.
Waited. This is the woman who was carried out of Caesar's Palace by 6 people.
Imagine if you were standing in line and saw Mariah Carey standing in line?
Oh, my God.
I'd faint.
Oh, sing something for me. Just sing something for me, please. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.